subscribe. Hello everyone, and welcome to a new video where we are going to keep learning
a lot of information about dinosaurs, these fantastic animals. Here on the cover of our box, we can already see a super predator. It's a Spinosaurus. It loved to eat marine animals and fish. That's why we're seeing it on the seashore. We're also going to use the Big Book of Dinosaurs, because inside we have a lot of information about all of them. Here we can see the great Styracosaurus, engaging in a battle against another member of its own species. But we have a lot of different dinosaurs, like this one here, which is very similar to the Ankylosaurus, although with some differences. They were armored dinosaurs, with a ball or club at the tip of their tail, and also a lot of spikes on the top. And now, let's go see everything that's waiting for us inside. Let's see. Look, there are a lot of different figures to help us learn their characteristics. We also have some dinosaurs that are going to hatch from their eggs, so let's get to work. It looks like, besides dinosaurs, we're also going to find other types of animals, like this gray wolf, for example. I love this figure because it's one of the soft ones. The inside is filled with little cork balls, and we can also stretch it. As you know, the wolf has quite a thick fur, especially around its head and tail. We can see its large fangs. I've also brought the animal encyclopedia. Inside we have information about fish, mammals, and reptiles. These pages talk about the wolf. I love it because it comes with pictures of the wolf in real life, in its natural habitat, which is where all animals should be. We can see a pack of wolves here. As you can see, they are in the middle of the snow, so their fur helps keep their bodies warm and regulate their temperature. In this photograph, we see it howling. Impressive. Normally, they live in groups or packs, and there is always a male leader. Awoo! We'll stop here and continue with something different. This time, we do have a dinosaur.
I'm sure many of you already know its name. It's the great Esterhoi.
A herbivorous dinosaur that fed on plants, leaves, grass, and fruit. As you can see, it's super soft and relaxing to squish it. This dinosaur was quite large and robust. It could reach about 9 meters in length. It had these large bony plates all over the top of its body, divided into 2 big rows. As you can see, the plates in the central part are the largest on its entire body. It also had a very special shape. It was very good at defending itself, especially with its tail, where it had 4 spikes that it swung very quickly to hit its opponents. That's why it had larger and more robust hind legs, since it needed a lot of strength in the rear part of its body. On the other hand, its head was very small compared to the rest of its body, and it had a small beak at the tip of its mouth, something that was characteristic of some herbivores. We'll leave the first dinosaur here, and we'll continue with another one. What do you think about witnessing the birth of a dinosaur? Inside, we have a rather small figure. And I love this one right here. I don't know if you already know its name, but you should pay attention to the big claws it has. This is a Therizinosaur. It was a dinosaur that had its entire body completely covered in feathers.
Completo de plumas, sobre todo en la zona de su cola. Aquí, como es una figura todavía de un dinosaurio bebé que acaba de nacer de su huevo, no es demasiado grande.
I like it because it also comes with this platform. And with this,
Detalle de la vegetación, algunas hojas súper bonitas. Este dinosaurio herbívoro se alimenta.
chapters classified, there were little traps in this one. First of all, to defend itself, it would wave by moving its claws from top to bottom, but it also used them to tear off vegetation and tree branches.
Well, now we know a little more about him.
Let's continue with the next one. And it looks like we have a crocodile. Crocodiles are a type of reptile. Also, they love to be submerged in water, but they are also land animals. They have a big mouth full of sharp teeth. Normally, they like to come up to the surface to sunbathe. They stay completely still, so much that it even seems like they're lifeless. Their fangs are impressive. One of their hunting tactics is to stay very still underwater, and when prey comes close, they open their big mouths and close them very quickly. That's how they catch them. As you can see, their skin is super scaly and they have a long tail.
They can walk with these 4 legs.
And let's continue with the next one. This time we have a very well-known dinosaur. As you can see, it's a carnivore. We already know that by the shape of its jaw and especially by the teeth it has. It's a Velociraptor. Look at these rather long front legs. It also had 3 fingers, and its hind legs were very fast, so it could run at great speed. Velociraptors, even though they weren't very big, were able to catch large prey because they hunted in groups or packs. We'll stop here for now. We still have a lot of dinosaurs left. And how about we get to know this very interesting one? Triceratops lived on planet Earth during the Cretaceous period, more than 65 million years ago. To defend itself from predators, it used this big head that, as you can see, is shaped like a crown. The entire outer part is covered with small spikes, but the most impressive thing was the horns it had at the front. The 2 upper horns could reach almost a meter in length, while the 3rd horn was much smaller. It was a quadrupedal dinosaur that walked on all 4 legs. Next dinosaur. Over here we have an impressive figure. I think it's the biggest one in the whole box. It's also very realistic, so we'll be able to see all the physical details of this dinosaur very well, which is called Giganotosaurus. It had a crest of spikes that ran along the entire dorsal part of its body all the way to the end of its tail. It was a bipedal dinosaur. Its hind legs were gigantic, and it was on them that it supported all the weight of its body. Its jaw was very large as that of the great Tyrannosaurus rex, and it was filled with sharp teeth. We can see that its skin was scaly, and if we get closer, we can even see the detail of its tongue. It was impossible to escape from these claws. What I like most about this figure is that if we turn it around, we can see its skeleton. You can see its eye sockets, its teeth, and even the tiny bones that made up its spine, all the way to the tip of its tail. There were other gigantic bones, such as the femur bones located in the hind legs. Impressive, isn't it? Throughout history, dinosaur bones have been preserved as fossil remains. Let's leave it.
Lo por aquí.
We still have dinosaurs left to discover. And we have another one of the soft figures, with an armored dinosaur, the great Ankylosaurus, which defended itself thanks to the ball or club it had at the end of its tail, which we can also stretch. The Ankylosaurus was also called the Cretaceous armadillo, and as you can see, its head was also armored. It had spikes on the sides. This made its skin almost unbreakable, so if a super predator came along, it was very difficult for it to sink its teeth into its skin. Let's take a look at the last dinosaur in the box, and it's also the most striking of all. As you can see, it's a dinosaur with its whole body covered in feathers. It's also very colorful, in yellow and blue. As you can see, it has a crest of feathers on the back of its head. We can see that its jaw is quite large and it has some teeth. Its front legs are also quite long. But the coolest thing is its tail. It really reminds me of a peacock's tail, all covered with very long feathers. I really like it, but I don't know the name of this dinosaur. If any of you know it, you can email me so I can look up information about it and talk about it in another video. And now we've finished today's video. I hope you liked all these animals. If you did, you can help me by giving me a super like, a thumbs up. And I invite you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. And now I'll say goodbye. See you in the next video with more amazing animals. Bye.